Hello everyone, welcome to The Green Man. It's been a couple of weeks since I last posted a video because I've just come back from a break, and I'm pleased tonight to be doing one of surely the biggest, most anticipated metal albums, certainly progressive metal albums, to come out of 2021, and that is the Between the Buried and Me Colours 2 album, the sequel to Colours from 2007. This album's been released today on Sumerian Records. It's 12 tracks, about an hour and 18 minutes in length. Between the Buried and Me actually haven't changed their lineup too much since the original. I think it's the release of Colours 1, and therefore I think you can sort of tell that a lot of what was captured in Colours is also captured here, but with some new flavours in the sounds as well, and some new ideas or almost spin-offs of some of the tracks, I think, from the first Colours album. And this really is quite a spectacular album and follow-up from Between the Buried and Me. I think, if anything, I maybe had concerns, would this be too much like a Colours carbon copy, or would it be something entirely different that makes everyone hate it? But no, this is a really solid, if not even perhaps, it feels too early to say it at this point in time, but even perhaps better than the first Colours album. And certainly I think this is perhaps one of the strongest Between the Buried and Me, certainly in the last 10 years, albums that we've had from them. And Between the Buried and Me are pretty much known for these strange, wacky sort of passages of music and time signatures. They throw in so much, it feels at times like you're getting the kitchen sink and everything else thrown into these songs, and just the 30 seconds in time can feel like you've heard from other songs maybe 5 minutes worth of music, because there's just so much going on, and these guys are so talented. But I think one thing this album really achieves really well is in the production and the mixing, is that you can discern all the musical instruments so well, and you can hear each and every musician and the amount of talent that they have to deliver this. And I mean, I've seen BT Bam live a couple of years back, and I couldn't believe, just that these guys reproduce all of this live to the note, to all the timings. And you think about how, from my point of view, it's just, a guitarist, I guess, but how I find it hard just to memorize pretty basic songs, right? And to memorize some of these 10-15 minute tracks which are all over the place, kind of unpredictable, and with so many changes within them and tempo changes here and there. It's really impressive stuff. And I have to say, I think this is an incredible achievement and follow up to Colours. But anyway, I'm going to get into some of the tracks now, and some of my favourite tracks from this album. The double helix of Extinction was fantastic, and I suppose gave me a sense of the sort of vibe I got from Foam-Born Bee of the Colours album, in the way that album kind of launched you in with that heavy track. And this one, after Monochrome, it's a slightly slower build up, but then Double Helix of Extinction just kind of explodes in your face, and that's an amazing song. Revolution in Limbo is epic. One of the first longer kind of tracks on this album, and it certainly doesn't disappoint. Fix the Error is a bit more of one of those funner kind of with more use of the sort of organy sounds that you get on this, and it's kind of a slightly bouncier track, I think. Never Seen, Future Shock. This one is possibly my favourite. I'd like to think, after my first listens, this probably is my favourite right now. I really like this, and Dan Briggs' bass work in this is it's off the charts. In fact, I mean, all the musicians in this album are fantastic, but Dan Briggs here on his bass there are some amazing moments on the bass that just kept jumping out at me as I was listening to this and thinking, hang on, that's really good. He's sort of really coming up with some fantastic bass lines throughout this entire album. And the sort of the middle part of the album, I guess after Never Seen Future Shock, it's so good that after that I kind of felt a little bit of a come down after that track maybe. But I mean, it doesn't hang around, I don't think. Even though it's an hour and 18 minutes, there's very rarely a moment where you're left wondering, when's the next good bit going to come, because it is most of the way through pretty high velocity, and fantastic Between Buried and Me. I really enjoyed Turbulence actually as one of the later tracks. Fumatu was just a short but very effective kind of lead into Human as Hell. The track which I've seen already some people talk about as White Walls, as the version, kind of another version of that, and it certainly does feel like it's different still, but it certainly has the feel of the White Walls' epic finish to this album. And we know Between the Buried and Me like to close out their albums, like The Great Misdirect, with big epics like Swim to the Moon. And obviously White Walls from the Colours album. Excuse me. So overall, this is really pretty much. I mean, could become their a lot of people's favourite album of theirs. I think, even though it's the early days for me, I've still got plenty of time to digest this album, and it needs that, to be honest. I think, to be fair, and it makes me almost a touch reluctant to score this yet, but I think, to be honest, we're looking at a very, very high score. Got to be a 9 at the moment, perhaps even at the least. And yeah, I mean, well done, guys. Between the Buried and Me, this is going to be up there, I'm sure, many people's album of the year lists at the end of the year. So thank you very much all for watching. As always, feel free as always to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this album review and you want to check out some other album reviews. I also do cover discussion on films such as sci-fi, fantasy and horror, and also do ranking videos of albums, and feel free, if you want me to rank a band's discography, to maybe mention who would like. I can't always guarantee I'll do it very quickly if I don't know the discography too well, but I'll do my best. Thanks all, see you next time.